Hello Stampers, Kelly Acheson at StampinUp.com coming to you from Menasha, Wisconsin. I think I have a great video for you today on my wait, what? Tip video. What do you guys do with all the pieces that you save after you've cut down your designer series paper? So, for example, I've got 3 packs open here, obviously, because I needed to get the certain patterns out of them. But you have all these strips left over after you do a project. What do you do with these? And even more so than that, thinner strips. What if you have thinner strips? Like, look at all of these. I've got all these thin strips in here. I know that we're all paper hoarders, and I say that with the utmost love because I'm a paper hoarder too. But I needed to come up with an idea on what to do with all of these pieces. Even better than that, I should say that my friend and customer, Sharon Jones from Louisiana, sent me the cutest card, and I'll show you that after I show you the cards that I'm going to make. She sent me the cutest card that made me think, that is a fantastic idea to do with all these little strips that we cut when we're cutting like 4 by 5 1/4 inch layers for the front of our cards. So let's get started. I'm going to show you what to do with all those little scraps. So what I've got here is a card base of our Whisper White thick cardstock. And this is 8 inches by 5 1/2, and I've scored it at 4 1/4. And we're just going to fold on that score line and burnish that fold good. Then I've got a piece of Whisper White that is 7/8 by 3 3/4. A piece of the beautiful Garden Impressions Designer Series paper. And this paper is just so very pretty. Let me see if I can bring out a pack that's got a little bit more left in it. I have been using this paper up like crazy. These patterns are just so fun and cheerful and pretty. This is a must-have in my book for making fun cards. We're also going to be using the Abstract Impression stamp set along with the stamp set called Part of My Story, which I need to locate. I've got that right here. And I combined some words from the More Than Words stamp set. So we'll talk about these in a little bit. Let's get back to our cardstock layers. This designer series paper layer is 1 1/4 by 5 1/2. This piece is 1/2 inch by 5 1/2. And this piece is 1/4 inch by 5 1/2. And then I've got a little strip of Whisper White here that is 1/2 inch by 5 1/2. We're going to do just a little bit of stamping here. I'm going to bring in my paper piercing mat. If anybody wonders about this, this is a piercing mat. We sell these. And I use it with some paper on top, wrapped around, just some printer paper to protect it so I don't get ink all over it. Whoops. First thing we're going to do here is we're going to punch. So I've got, you can use your scissors to do a banner end, but I've got my banner triple punch here. I'm going to push this all the way in and center it. There's 1 inch, 1.5 inches, and 2 inch templates here. This is just a tiny bit less than that, so you have to kind of center it so you get a nice banner on the end. I love this punch because it gives you that perfect banner every time. Now we're going to stamp with some Blueberry Bushel ink, and if you guys follow me, you know that I like to call this Blueberry Buckle. Remember the baby food from years ago? Yeah, that's why I call it Blueberry Buckle. Then I'm going to bring in some dimensionals here. We're going to do a dimensional here and a dimensional here. We're just going to get this banner all ready to go. I've got some of our 1/8 inch grosgrain ribbon, and this is Blueberry Buckle or Bushel, whatever you want to say. I kind of like to use my own colors, but if you happen to be searching for this in my online store, you're going to need to know the real name of it, and it is Blueberry Bushel. I'm going to cut that. Maybe I'll trim these just a little bit shorter. And then grab a mini glue dot. Maybe, here we go. I like to curl these up when I'm using them on small things so that they don't peek out from underneath the ribbon. It's something about that I don't like it. And when you put it in an envelope, you don't want it sticking to the envelope either. So I guess that's maybe more, I don't like the way it looks, but that's maybe more why I do it. Okay, this is ready to roll. Now we are going to bring in our card and get this all set up. So here's what you're going to do with your little strips. I've got several different variations of this to share with you using different patterns and different punches, because once I get going on something, I have a hard time stopping. So I just kind of went crazy with this template tonight. And if I didn't say so at the beginning, thank you so much, Sharon, for sending me this pretty card so that I could look at that and go, oh my gosh, that's a great thing to do with all of these little pieces that are left over that we can't possibly throw away because we're hoarders. Hello, my name's Kelly and I'm a paper hoarder. Yeah, I feel like that a lot, don't you? Because you never know, you might need that piece or you'll find a use for it. That's how we justify it. And I'm telling you, I am helping you with your sickness right now because now you really do have justification. Look at the cute little card you're going to be able to make with all these tiny little pieces. Now, isn't that sweet? I love that inside layer, this is the 1/2-inch layer here, that the edge of the card is cut just a little bit smaller. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this banner and I'm going to add it right in here. And I'm kind of lining it up with the center of this blueberry strip. And then it goes over the edge of our card, which always draws my eye. I just love stuff like that. Okay, then that was beautiful, but I want to do a little stamping. So I'm going to take my blueberry and I'm going to stamp the greeting from part of my story, and I got it crooked. But you know what? My friends will understand. This says, know that today a friend is thinking of you. So we've got, let's get together and giggle and know today that a friend is thinking of you. And then we're going to do a little bit more stamping on the inside because why wouldn't we? We've got stamps and ink. We need to use them. This is shaded spruce, which is the color that coordinates with the designer paper. And then we've got the blueberry again for these funky little abstract flowers. And I just think that's really cute. Now, don't pay attention to the fact that that's crooked. Here, I'll show you the one that isn't crooked. I do see that I have a little piece sticking over here though. And I should have paid better attention to that because that will make me crazy. Okay, now, this is beautiful. This is a gorgeous, very crisp, simple card. But what can we do to it to dress it up a little bit? Well, let me show you. I am going to bring in these Itty Blooms Punch Pack punches. That's what they're called, Itty Blooms Punch Pack. And these little buggers are stinking adorable. Let me get some more light over here. There we go. They have been on back order for a very long time, but they are going to be back in-house on March 18th. I don't know how long they're going to last. No clue on that one. So if you want to get your hands on these, you're going to want to place an order to make sure that you get them. But they are super, super cute. I'm going to bring in some scraps here. So I picked scraps that are coordinating with the colors in my paper. And here's where I'm finding that. Right on the label that comes with your paper, it tells you which colors coordinate with it. So that's what I grabbed for scraps here. So we are going to punch out a little flower from each one of these colors. Got Calypso Coral, So Saffron, and Melon Mambo. And then also included with this punch pack is the little circle that can go in the center of the flowers and these tiny little leaves. So you're going to need 2 leaves for each flower if you want to copy this completely. That's what I used. And for right now, I'm just going to do a couple. I'm going to take the yellow flower, and what I like to do is just add some glue to the back of the flower. And then this is where our take your pick tool comes in handy with that putty end. I'm just going to pick up my little leaves and set them right down on there. I hope you can see this good. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Okay, that looks a little better. Now help me remember to zoom back out. Yeah, I know you can't, but it's a nice thought, right? And then here comes another one. Just going to move that one out just a little bit. Get those pushed down good. Isn't that just the sweetest little flower? Oh, I've got ink all over my hands, you guys. I'm sorry. I have been stamping like a crazy person today, which is wonderful, I might add. I love stamping like a crazy person. I've got so much going on right now that I need to get done. So this was really fun to make this. Now, that's really cute. You could use a circle, okay, that is in the punch, but I chose to bring in these Happiness Blooms enamel dots because why? They're super fun, that's why. And I am going to take the medium size in the Calypso Coral and add it right to the center of my cute little flower. Now what do you guys think? Isn't that just the sweetest? All right, we are going to, this has a mini dimensional on the back. Maybe I said that already, I don't remember. I was too excited over this flower. And I'm gonna add this little flower right here. And then, through the magic of TV, I have 2 more little flowers. And I am going to add those to the front of this card. And like I said, this card was perfectly fine without these. It's a beautiful card. But these just add that little bit of charm, I think, that's super sweet. Look at that. Isn't that cute? All made with like scraps. Yeah, very, very cute. Okay, do you want to see some more? Because I have more. This is where I went crazy. I couldn't stop myself. Let me get some of this out of the way here. Bring these punches back in so you can see them. We've got this flower. Let's turn them upside down so they don't glare at you. We've got this like daisy flower, this flower with some good petals, and then the more rounded flower, and then the leaf and the dot punch. And again, these are called Bitty Blooms Punch Pack. If you're doing a search in my online store, you can find my online store when you go to my blog. The first button in the right-hand column is online ordering. You'll also find a host code for the month down a little further in that right-hand column. You use that when your order is under $150. You get some special perks from me. Don't worry, you get special perks when it's over $150 too. Okay, next one I made. Look at this. This says, oh, you know what? I think I need to zoom out again. I always forget to do that, you guys. So that's why I'm always scared to do the zooming thing. There we go. Okay, so this is my blog address where you'll find the online ordering button in the right-hand column. Sorry about that. Okay, this one uses the beautiful designer series paper with the blueberry and crushed curry, so saffron. So what I did with this one is I brought in the new punch that is part of this bundle. Oh, and what's it called? Let me find out. Hang on. I found it. It's right here. This is called the Story Label Punch. It's brand new. It is part of our March promotion, and then it goes with this More Than Words stamp set. So this is the More Than Words stamp set, the Story Label Punch, and I punched that out of Blueberry Bushel, and then this is punched out of Crushed Curry, and I used the greeting from that set, because adulting is hard. And isn't that sweet? I had some ladies that asked me, they didn't really know exactly what that meant. It's kind of a trendy little saying, in case you don't know too. It's a trendy little saying that the kids are saying, the 20-somethings, the 30-somethings, because they say adulting is hard. And I had a conversation with my daughter not too long ago as she was looking at insurance. She has to get off of our car insurance and get her own insurance. And she was contemplating her options there and trying to figure it out. And she's like, oh my gosh, I hate all this insurance stuff. And I said to her, adulting is hard. And that's exactly what it means. So here's our super sweet little card, same dimensions. I just put a different punch on here. This time I used those rounded flowers in crushed curry and then soft sea foam for my leaves because it kind of matched the color of the leaves in the paper. And then this is a 1 1/4 inch circle punch. All of these are on dimensionals as well as the story label punch. Okay, I have another one because I told you I went crazy. Well, let's get this back in here. This is the next card. I decided to try it with some solid colored cardstock. I used white on both of these, so here I brought in that blueberry bushel, and I pulled the color out of my designer paper. This is still the same exact designer paper, the Garden Impressions. I use that same story label punch, and this is a greeting out of there. It says, "You have so much courage, strength, and bravery." And then I punched my flower out of the designer series paper. If flowers were hugs, I'd send you 1,000. I love to have these types of cards on hand, so when I have a friend that's going through something, I can quick pop them a card in the mail to let them know that I care about them. So what do you guys think? I think this is so sweet. This part of my story, this is where Let's Get Together and Giggle came from. And know that today a friend is thinking of you. This is free with your $50 order, so that's cool. I hope you enjoyed this little series on what to do with those strips or those scraps of designer series paper. And now I'm going to show you the card that I got from my friend Sharon. And isn't this just pretty? This is where all this came from. This one card that I received in the mail, and she was actually sending me, hers says, "A little kindness goes a long way. Hi, Kelly. Thanks so very much for sending me that gorgeous thank you card." So I sent her a thank you card, and she sent me a card back. And it just really brightened my day. If you would like to order any of these supplies, again, hop on over to my blog. You can click right up here in the top right corner. That's going to take you right to my blog. You'll find that online ordering button in the right-hand column, as well as the host code just down a little bit further. Don't forget that this punch pack is going to be back in the warehouse around March 15th. You don't want to miss out on this because I love little punch packs like this. Thank you guys so much for taking a little bit of time out of your day to spend it with me. And don't forget to click down here and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Bye-bye.